Greetings in Yahusha HaMashiach's name. Welcome to this teaching today. This lesson is going to be centered around Luke 16, 1 through 13. And he also said to his taught ones, which are the disciples, there was a certain rich man who had a manager, and he was accused to him as wasting his possessions. So having called him, he said to him, "What is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, for you are no longer able to manage." And the manager said to himself, "What shall I do? For my master is taking the managership away from me, and I am unable to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I know what I shall do, that when I am removed from the managership, they might receive me into their houses." And calling every one of his master's debtors to him, he said to the first, "How much do you owe my master?" And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said to him, "Take your bill and set down quickly and write 50. Then to another he said, "And how much do you owe?" And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said to him, "Take your bill and write 80. And the master praised the unrighteous manager because he acted shrewdly, because the sons of this age are more shrewd in their generation than the sons of light. And I say to you, make friends for yourselves by unrighteous mammon, that when you fail, they shall receive you into everlasting dwellings. He who is trustworthy in what is least is trustworthy also in much. And he who is unrighteous in what is least, and unrighteous also in much. If therefore you have not been trustworthy in unrighteous mammon, who shall entrust to you the true? And if you have not been trustworthy in what is another man's, who shall give you what is your own? No servant is able to serve two masters, for either he shall hate one and love the other, or else he shall cling to one and despise the other. You are not able to serve Elohim and Mammon. So a lot of people will take this and just think that this is a teaching between serving Yahuah and serving Mammon, and that we should choose one and not the other. But there's more here to the lesson than that. Okay, so if we go down here, where it says he who is trustworthy, that's the second part of this teaching here. So I'm going to go to the next page here and show you trustworthy is worthy of being trusted, honest, reliable, and dependable. Okay, so at the very beginning of this section, we see that the manager who was working for a rich man. Of course, the rich man is an illustration or a kind of a, not substitution, but pictorial, just call it substitution, okay, of Elohim, okay, and the manager would be us, because at the very beginning of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, we are commanded to take dominion over the earth, okay. So dominion is basically management. All right, we're called to be managers of whatever is given to us. All right, so somehow someone came along, I think I hear the snake in the garden there, and accused the manager of mismanagement. Okay, so the word accuse means to charge with or declare to have committed a crime. So it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's wrong or false. But it's an accusation. Okay, so that's the legal system. The legal system, which is man's system is a system of accusation. All right, you are charged when someone comes along and says they did something wrong to me. Automatically, you are guilty. It's not innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent. All right, it's upside down to Yahuwah's kingdom. Yahuwah's kingdom is you're innocent until proven guilty. Man's kingdoms are you are guilty until proven innocent. So we see the rich man saying, "I hear about you." Okay, he's heard something. Now he's not saying, "I believe it," but he's saying, maybe I better check into this. So he says, "Give me an account of your management, of the things that I've let you manage for me. These are my things. You are to manage what I'm giving you." Okay, these gifts. And so the act of doing an account is to show basically things received and things gone out, okay, or pluses and minuses. All right, and the idea is to have a balanced account at the end. All right, so now keep in mind that this teaching is not about salvation. This is about doing the best you can with what you're given. That's the first part of it, and then the second part is who you serve. Okay, so and they're intertwined. Okay, because if you are faithful or trustworthy, then you're serving Elohim, even if it's in secular activities. Okay, in worldly actions and possessions. So it's not wrong to have material things. What's wrong is to not use them properly. All right. So basically, when the manager was accused, he now became a debtor. All right. He had a debt to pay. All right, or at least a debt to prove on the account sheets that wasn't there. And so what he did is he called in his master's debtors, all right, and he asked them, "Well, how much do you owe?" And they told him, and he probably went through all the debtors. And what he did is he removed the debt from them. Okay, so the debt would be like interest. So what he did is, with the one, he cut it in half. Okay, so that guy must have been really in debt because he owed 50% of what he owed was in addition to the other 50%. So like he was really in debt. And so what the manager did is he canceled their debts. All right, he canceled the debts. So now we get down here, and the master praises the unrighteous manager because he acted very wisely. Okay, and it must have surprised the manager because the manager was expecting to not have his job for much longer. He wouldn't have his responsibilities, I should say, and instead the master saw that the the manager was doing something really good, and that is to cancel debts. So like when someone offends you, does something to harm you in some way, they're now in debt to you. Okay, so when you are wronged, someone is in debt to you, and we are called to act in the same way as our Creator, and that is to cancel the debts. Cancel the debts. Okay, and so when the manager was praised for his actions, his wisdom, Yahusha actually insults the sons of light, because he says the sons of this age are more shrewd in their generations, in that's their kind, okay, than the sons of light. Okay, that's Israel. All right. So the sons of this age then were basically the Gentiles. And what Yahusha is saying here in this comment is he's insulting. He said they do a better job of what I want them to do than you do. So, in the next verse, he says to make friends for yourself by unrighteous mammon, that when you fail, you shall receive into everlasting dwelling. That's kind of a difficult sentence there, or verse, because he's saying make friends with the deity of wealth. So let's parallel that with the verse before, and let's say, so if you're a Gentile, and you don't believe in Yahuah and follow Yahusha, then what you have is a relationship with this deity of wealth. It's kind of saying, well, then manage yourself wisely anyways. So it's not a matter of necessarily, so the teaching isn't totally focused on who you serve, but how you serve. Okay? And that's what the law is all about. That's what the law of, and we go back here a slide, the law of liberty, James 1:25 is talking about when you serve according to the laws. And the law doesn't make us perfect. The law is perfect, but it doesn't make us perfect. It is perfect. We are not. But what we're trying to do is have our acts, our actions, our decisions, the way we deal with life lining up with the law, because that's the way Yahushua lived his life on earth. He lived it perfectly because it's his law. It's his very nature and character. Okay. So we're called to be faithful, trustworthy. Okay, not unfaithful, not untrustworthy or unjust. No matter if we are believers or not. Okay. All right. We want people to be able to depend on us. If you say, hey, I'm going to call you back tomorrow, then there are two choices. There's three choices. One, you do what you say. Two, if you can't or you change your mind, life has dynamics to it, all right? Then you let the other individual know that you're going to postpone your meeting. And the third choice is the unjust choice, and that is to just blow it off. That means your words meant nothing. That's a lie. What happened is you lied, okay? So that's another level to this teaching here, is that it's truth versus lie. And that's what the law of liberty is. That's the truth. And legal fictions, the legal system, which is an accusatory system, is a lie. Because that's where the word fiction comes from. Fiction comes from the word fictio, which is Latin, which means to feign or to lie. And lies will always put you in captivity, and the truth will always set you free. That's where liberty is. Okay? So, you can't serve both. You can't be trustworthy and untrustworthy at the same time. It's impossible. Just like it is impossible to serve Yahuah Elohim and mammon, or the deity of wealth, at the same time. That's it. Well, thank you for tuning in today, my YouTube channel. I hope you have a blessed day, and thank you for tuning in. Shalom, shalom.